everyone, it's Janie here from The Bear and the Fox. I just wanted to check in with you and do another round of sharing some of the books that I've recently been reading. So first up we have Dear Mrs. Bird, which I borrowed from the library. It's set in London in 1941 and it features Emmy, who dreams of being a war correspondent, and when she spots an advert in a newspaper for what she thinks is a position as a junior journalist, she thinks her chance has come and she gets the job, but there's a bit of a misunderstanding and she's actually been hired to type up the letters for the Agony Aunt page in a women's magazine. So Henrietta Bird is the rather formidable woman in charge, and she's the one that people write to, but Mrs. Bird refuses to answer any letters with any hint of unpleasantness. So anybody who's worried about falling for the wrong man, or maybe got pregnant out of wedlock, or any other kind of unpleasant affairs of the heart, she refuses to answer, and the letters that she does answer, she's quite curt. So Emmy decides that she wants to help all these desperate women who have been so brave enough to write into Mrs. Bird, so she starts writing back to them in secret. So it's a very heartwarming, sometimes funny, sometimes a bit sad novel about the enduring power of friendship and the kindness of strangers, and I really recommend it. And I have to return it to the library very soon because there are lots of people who have reserved it, which just goes to show how popular it is. So that's Dear Mrs. Bird. Next we have Washington Black, which was shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize 2018, but that's not why I'm reading it. The title just caught my attention. And it's set in the mid-19th century on a sugar plantation in Barbados, and Washington Black is an 11-year-old slave who is selected to be the manservant for one of the masters, or rather the master's younger brother. So the master runs his plantation and his younger brother is interested in science and scientific research, and he is working on building a flying machine. So he's selected Washington to be his manservant, but actually also to help him build this flying machine. And I'm about a third of the way through, as you can see, and at this point Washington is in great danger. So him and Titch, who he's working for, have to flee the island, and this is as far as I've got, so I'm really excited to see what happens next. But it's a bit of an adventure, and I'm just telling you what it says on the inside. It says they escape the island and embark on a strange life-altering journey, and when Titch disappears, Washington must make his way alone, following the promise of freedom further than he ever dreamed possible. So if the first third of the novel is anything to go by, I hope that the other 2/3 are going to be just as good, but so far so good. So that's Washington Black. And next we have Hokkaido Highway Blues, which is a travel book that I have been rereading. It follows the journey of the author Will Ferguson, who decides to hitchhike Japan from one end to the other following the cherry blossom trail, and it's about all the encounters that he has along the way. And I've been rereading this because we are about to embark on not a hitchhiking trip, but a trip to Japan for a couple of weeks over the February break, and by the time you're watching this video we may already have been there, or we may already come back from Japan. So I really enjoyed reading this the first time round, and I'm enjoying it just as much the second time round. So if you're planning a trip to Japan, I really recommend this book because it gives you a great insight into the country. And if you're not planning a trip to Japan, then it's great for a bit of armchair traveling from home. And last but not least, I just wanted to share this little gem with you, The Almanac, a seasonal guide to 2019. So I have been enjoying dipping into this during January. So in January, it had a bit in it about trees, about the sky at night, moonrise and sunset. Oh, here's a picture of the trees, and there are some songs and recipes for Burns Night, which was celebrated on the 25th of January here in Scotland. And I just really look forward to the coming month. So it's got one chapter for each month. So just jumping ahead a bit, for example, to May. Here's some birds for May. And then in September, there's a little story and a bit about gardening, and some hedgerow fruits. It's also in September. So this is just a nice little companion for the year ahead. And that's it for today. I would love to hear what you're reading at the moment too, so please do feel free to leave a comment. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please do like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Happy reading. Bye!